Well, I am excited to introduce to you our next panel guest, Ron Friedman. Ron produced 2 drafts for Transformers the movie, one about which is little is known that you can ask him about in a few moments, and the one which would be developed into the finished film.
Feel free to come up and be embarrassing.
It'll be awesome.
Speak freely. What's the worst that can happen?
Without further ado, let's give it up for Ron Friedman. Again.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I am Ron Friedman. Those of you who are expecting somebody else, you're screwed. But, Yo Joe, wrong room. I created G.I. Joe. I also created the Bionic Six, Defenders of the Earth, and with Stan Lee, my former frequent writing partner and friend, the Marvel Action Hour. And in so-called real television, I have more than 700 hours of mostly prime time. All in the Family, The Andy Griffith Show, Get Smart, Barney Miller, The Odd Couple, Bewitched, Fantasy Island, Dip Plane, Starsky and Hutch. And if you watched all of that, it explains why none of you went to medical school. But the Transformers surprised me. I did not want to kill Optimus Prime. I told Hasbro, if you kill him, he will have to be brought back. They said, never. 90 days later, he was back. He's still back. You can't kill Optimus Prime any more than you can kill Zeus in Greek mythology. How about knocking off Odin in Norse mythology? Who do you replace him with? Sven, the herring salesman? You can't do it. Anyway, for years, and I mean years, strangers would approach me on the street and say, "You son of a bitch." I was 7 years old, and I went to see the Transformers, and you killed Optimus Prime. Would you sign my underwear? I have signed underwear. I'll be happy to sign your underwear if it's reasonably sanitary. But the Transformers has given me great pleasure because at the time I was doing it, I felt a real responsibility to move the idea of the Transformers beyond where the series was. I rewrote the first 60 episodes, which were then largely about Energon. The Decepticons wanted it, the Transformers had it. The Transformers wanted it, the Decepticons had it. Almost every episode. And there were no human beings, and no girls, no women. So I said, I want to have a female Autobot. Unheard of. Well, RC was, still is, because my daughter liked the Transformers, and I figured if she did, other girls liked it too. So it's not limited to men only. This is universal. It is a universal product. I also said that I want to kill some Autobots. Why did I want to do that? Because I learned from Walt Disney that in order to tell a story that's compelling and emotionally revealing, there has to be light and dark. There has to be life and death. Snow White, Pinocchio, name the great Disney movie. The threat of the loss of life is very much present because that's for real. So I was told, okay, you can knock off these guys, we're not that crazy about them, but you must also kill Optimus Prime. And I said, nay. I thought I'd use the Shakespearean term maybe to shame them into backing off, but they didn't. At any rate, I tried to go beyond what Energon torment of the moment to get into the humanity of the Transformers, because I will now confess to something I believe is absolutely true, and it took me years to actually get a close handle on it. We are all Transformers. When we're young and we see injustice or injustices acted upon us, we want to change that. We want to have our view spoken out and listened to. This is wrong, we say, but we're little, we're small. Nobody listens to kids, ever. And so what we do, if we're creative and imaginative, is we look for a universe in which what we care about works, in which what is good always wins. What is good is always recognized as good, and what is not good is dealt with. It's not accepted. It's not acceptable. But we have to transform from those frightened, angry kids into grown-ups, into adults who can make that change, make that difference. And the heartwarming thing I found from meeting Transformers fans is that you are all positive. You are all hopeful. You are all still transforming into becoming those who make the difference that's crucial. I think that's important. And I think that it's not just comic books, and it's not just animation, and it's not just strange toys that sell for a lot of money. It's this idea that transforming is what life is about, particularly when the transformation is into being better, into making a difference for the good. So I salute all of you for your imagination and your positive nature, and it gives me great joy to be in your presence and recognize that we are one. I'm still the same starry-eyed, once-upon-a-time kid that wants to believe that it can be better and that we will make it better. Thank you. And now that I've shown you a bit of my heart, you're going to show me a bit of your strangeness and ask any question that comes to mind.